Hey everybody, you're watching Cole the Corn Star. Today I'm spending $40,000 on snake oil or foo-foo juice for my crops in hopes that we at least make our money back, if not more. The scariest part about all of this is I absolutely do not know if it's even going to pay itself back. So before we get started, we got a couple things we got to get set up, and then we'll go jump out into the field and we'll see how this goes. First things first, Nate and Jamie's guy just showed up. It's like he's got some fungicide on the truck. Then we got a couple totes we're gonna load up back on the truck that they need to take back. Now for whatever reason, when we did our chemical pricing last December and we put our order in, it got miscalculated on the rate that was gonna get put on. They said quarts on their calculation, but we actually used pints, and 1 quart is twice of that of a pint. So basically, we have double this stuff. So those ones, there's like $15,000 worth of extra product right there. That bottom tote's full, that tote's 3/4 full, that tote's 3/4 full. So we should get a really nice refund check. We had to do a little bit of shuffling. These particular products have that hazmat symbol on the side of it because those are flammable. The driver did not have his hazmat license, so he could not take those. So we had to do a little flippity floppity. And I'm gonna tell you what, I really miss running the window in this. Dad took it in yesterday, so they should have it done hopefully tomorrow, but yeah, the cab is a filthy mess right now. So now that we got that guy unloaded and loaded back up, we have a few different products on the ground. All of this stuff is going on our high management corn this year. We are doing 250 acres, so 25% of our corn acres are gonna be under a high management program. So we're doing a bunch of tissue testing, and we're determining what the plant is deficient in and what maybe we can come in and kind of help prop up with some of these products that we have here. Where I live just so happens to be home to some of the very most fertile soil in the entire world. We literally have some of the best soil to grow corn and soybeans on that you can find anywhere on planet Earth. With that being said, that means we should have some of the best yields when it comes to corn and soybeans. However, that's absolutely not the case on our farm. We are missing something. Something with fertility is not there, maybe something with compaction, water management, pest management, disease management. I really don't know. So I have been setting out over the last few years, I've been doing an incredible amount of research trying to figure out what is going on our farm. What is holding us back from even average yields? And I think I found it. And the answer is all of the above. And I'm honestly not that smart. I just have a no-quit attitude. I will just keep going and keep going and keep going, and I will ram my head into a wall 7 million times until I get something figured out. So after doing enough research, I found a program that some really smart farmers put together recommending what we can do to address all those things, and they have actual data that addresses them and gives us empirical evidence that, hey, this actually works. However, sometimes on paper, things work, and then when you get them on your actual farm, they don't. So all these guys are really smart. Some of the best farmers in the world say this works. I've never tried it on our farm, so we're gonna take what these guys say, we're gonna try it here on our soil, and we're gonna figure it out. This is a big step for me. We're risking a lot of money on the line. It is gambling, but it's an educated gamble. So we're going in, we're counting cards in the casino today, and I'm excited. My CPA, who didn't want me to ride off the dirt bike, as a farm tool. See, I'm using it to go get parts. It's my crop scouting unit as well. Cooper's got 500 miles on his Ranger now, and he's already got it completely tore apart. I mean, literally, everything's tore out of this, even the floor. I guess he picked up some of this insulation stuff. It also doubles as a sound barrier, so he's putting it on everything. I guess he's got them baking in the sun so that the way they really stick.
Yeah, if that's what he's doing with that, might be what he's doing, letting the sun bake it on.
It's going to be really interesting to see how that sound difference that it makes. I bet it's going to be quite a bit.
And then in the winter, or if you're out in the cold, then it should help on the floor and stuff. stay warmer in there.
We did pick up a 60-gallon sprayer that's going to go in the back of the Ranger as well. So this is going to be used for fence lines and stuff, yards. It does have a little boom that actually mounts on the ball of the Ranger. So then there's a 15-foot wide boom that'll be behind it. He's got to put that together. That's sitting right here. Dad's basically got the sprayer about ready. He's just got to put the new tips back on it. We have just a little bit of work to do left on the mix meat. I need to take that elbow off right there. I'm going to put a T in place, and then we need to run rinse lines to each one of these individual ends. Now, who would have done such a thing and put this where you can't get a screwdriver on it? Oh man, I got blue goop on me. After long work putting these hoses on and a lot of thought going into this, I think we got this thing all ready to go. It's a little too windy for us to spray tonight, but we can have everything prepared and absolutely 100% ready to go in the morning, so that's what we're gonna do. Dad actually just took off to go get the new windshield for the JCB, so he should be back in a little bit with that. Ooh, she about empty. Before I get these loaded up, I'm gonna go grab the water tester and I'm gonna test each individual one of these for the conductivity of it, because I need to know if one of those is not conductive, then I cannot use it on this new side because of the type of flow meter that it uses, or I guess that side. This one uses a gear meter, so it's all based off the number of turns to measure liquid. And that one somehow does something with the electrical pulse. I don't know, I just know it works and it's faster than the gear one. So for our bulk products, it's gonna be awesome, but we just have to be careful on what you put in. This little testing unit, aka the pregnancy test for the totes. First up, we got our humic fulvic acid. I'm guessing that this one is not going to be conductive. You're simply looking for 50 microsiemens or more. It's like 22 microsiemens. Boron, 4.5, say 9.9. According to what Doug told me, we needed to be above 65 microsiemens in order to be conductive. The readings we were doing on here, it jumped from a microsiemen up to a millisiemen, so everything we have here is conductive. While we were out and about, Dad delivered the new window. I think I've mastered the art of getting house projects finished in a timely manner. You just have to work on it like 20 minutes every single night for 20 years, and then you get it all done. So our 20-minute project tonight is we're gonna put this shade in front of the big window. We had one there before, but that one was a vanilla white instead of eggshell white, so we had to do that. I didn't even know there was different whites until Neva taught me, so you can teach an old dog new tricks. Hopefully this works. I pre-drilled my holes and putting a screw in, somehow one decided it was going to snap the head off. I think that's right in the way. When I slide the thing up in there, that's going to hit. For supper tonight, Neva made some green beans. Looks like we got some hash browns, hamburger, maybe some green beans in there. What do you got there?
I have a sandwich. I wanted a sandwich tonight. A jalapeno, one green bean. I tried waiting for you. I was really hungry. Thanks for putting my curtain up.
It looks good.
This is probably a really good angle of us.
Probably the best. When it's like this, you're supposed to tuck your chin down.
Tuck your chin down?
Oh my
god. Am I doing it right?
And let me use the double chin.
Okay. Don't like this song, but you better not put this on the internet. Don't put this on the internet. Good night.
Update on the Canadian wildfire situation. We still got smoke. Morning.
Hey, Cole!
That glass getting caught up in there?
Well, I think the hay.
Oh.
Need like a 6-inch hose.
You go to the grain vac.
About what it needs. Was this waiting on it?
I have no idea.
And then these latches somehow, you have to, I don't know if you hold them up or what. Well, let's see, I gotta get underneath them lights. Oh, is it like, oh, that's got that groove over there, don't it? So do we gotta like angle it a little or?
Almost there. Push it in. Okay, got one.
But you know, looking at this, Cole, this has got a frame out here with some holes in it. You know, somehow a guy might be able to make something where plywood, you know, if we had some kind of little neat little frame that could just sit in there.
Yeah, or a little piece of plexiglass or something. Yeah, I just do not understand how that trailer is kicking up rocks.
I don't either.
It's got the mud flaps of the truck, plus the mud flaps hanging behind the truck, the rock protectors.
Coop says the mud flaps are dragging, and that's what's kicking up. I said, I don't think so. Because you look at them underneath the mud flaps, they are not chewed up. And if they were rubbing on gravel, it would. I haven't seen it ever touching the ground.
Me either. Now, is it just me, or have these fires been kind of a new thing? When I was a little boy, I do not ever one time remember going outside and seeing it be hazy, or being told that, oh, hey, there's wildfire smoke out there. Maybe one time when I was a teenager, I remember seeing it just be like hazy way up high. You could see down below, but they just said it was cloudy from the wildfire smoke coming from Canada. But now it's down on the ground. So this is something I do not ever remember seeing before. So is this like a big deal? I mean, fires are a big deal, but is this like a bigger fire than normal? Please start, please start, please start. Ooh, don't forget, whenever you're loading any piece of equipment down the road, put your seatbelt on, because if you don't have that on, you're going 25. That is a big old windshield, and it's a long way down to the ground. Oh boy, this is how you know that it's humid out. This is the filter that's on the Mixmate that we had no idea was there. I'd say that it needs clean. Not off to a good start so far. That one's leaking right there, and then up there is leaking. We tore all this apart the other day, and we have not ran any liquid through it yet. So we got some O-rings that must not be lined up right. Whoa, O-rings. Where do we got the O-rings? Yeah. Please start. Please start. Please start. Yes! We're starting off our spraying adventure on Uncle Orland's farm. This is where the old building site used to be. We got Cousin Brett's car sitting right there. We're going to be going about halfway up that hill. We're going to be going from the halfway point of the field all the way to the top of the hill. This front part was planted before the back half, so this is like 2 or 3 growth stages ahead of what the back is. We're not gonna have perfect apples to apples comparison on this farm, but we're basically gonna have it split right down the middle, and we're not gonna have any of the end rows on this high management stuff. So we're gonna see how does the high management side yield compared to the normal management side. On the right, this was planted a week after what was planted on the left, so this corn's about a foot taller than what's on the right. Before we get everything all sticky and don't want to be walking in here, I got my paper bag. We're gonna grab some leaves, where we can do a tissue sample. Then we can see what the analysis is inside the plant before we put this application on. And when we come back next week, we'll do it again. And then we'll be able to see how much this application raised the micronutrient levels within the plant. But then more importantly, we're gonna continue to keep doing them throughout the season every week. So then we can see how long the application lasts in the plant, and when it starts to die off, then that'll just give us data for in the future. Little buddy, You might not want to be here in a few minutes, or don't eat any of the corn in this half of the field. Actually, don't go on that side either. Okay, that's the leaf I want. That didn't take too long. We got her done. 47.6 acres. So we have the whole outline. The end rows are not this high management. And then the front half of the field up here is also not high management. So it's going to be really interesting to see. We're going to have a side-by-side right there. We're also going to have a side-by-side there, as well as on the end rows. And then just they'll take overall average of that versus overall average of this. Okay, we got one load out of the way. I think we got all the bugs worked out of everything. Let's try this again. See how smooth all this new stuff works. We got to fire up the semi first thing because we need air pressure. I just realized I had my shirt on backwards. Now Grandpa's knocked out 65 acres here. Everything that's in the gray is what's basically going to be the control. And then this little strip right here, we have the intercrop plot there. On this fence line is just how we do regular corn. Then we have the intercrop plot in between. And then this is going to be high management. So we're going to have an interesting comparison through all of those. Get ready. Just watch how instant this right spot shuts off. As soon as we hit this waterway, boom. It's instant. One thing that's also really nice about this egg leader right spot, we got a nozzle shut off every 15 inches. It's super beneficial when the left side of my boom has already been sprayed. It shuts off right to the edge of where we need to be. So we're not wasting anything extra. And it's nice if you have a little sliver that you accidentally missed. Sometimes only 2 nozzles will turn on, and then you just get it all. Then you're not doing a 15-foot wide swath for 30 inches. Bush Farm, Hanson Farm. We got so close to getting done with the high management corn today. We got 3 loads off, so we have 1 more, and then we'll be done with that 250 acres. Then we'll get everything swapped over. It was an interesting day. We just had a lot of the little new stuff, getting things figured out, figuring out what the mix of stuff was going to be. And then we had a little bit of problem with some stuff leaking. Then I forgot to open the valve on the bottom of one of the totes. And so we just got 15-minuted to death. We'll call it that. It's kind of like you get $5 to death if you stop at every gas station you go by. Before you know it, you spent like $300 on gas station food in a week and you don't even realize it because it was only $5. It was only 15 minutes. Before you know it, 2 hours has gone by. If we wouldn't have had those, we would have got done with the high management corn stuff today. But it is what it is. We're going to learn from it and we'll put that in the back pocket. And so next time we just know what to avoid or what to check ahead of time. We got push-ups today, 44 of them. I woke up this morning to the sound of pitter-patter of rain out on the sidewalk and on the roof, so I stayed in the office and got some work done this morning. It was 3:30 in the afternoon. Now the sun came out a couple hours ago. I don't think we got a whole lot, just enough to push them out of the field this morning. We have 1 load left on the sprayer for the corn, then the corn is done. The other day I took a 2x4, a 20-foot long 2x4, and I laid it down on the edge of the rock, and then I sprayed up next to it. That actually made a pretty clean edge. Okay, let's get this high management stuff done, and that way we can get out of the sprayer. And Cooper and I have a bunch of projects we want to get working on. Come on, girl, you can do it. You can do it. Oh, second time. Okay, we're learning how to run the new mag meter. I have 3 things hooked up on the old gear meter right now and only 1 on the mag meter. The mag meter one is literally twice as fast as the gear meter. And the mag meter can run at the same time that the gear meter does. So next time, I'm gonna put my 64-gallon product and my 32-gallon product on the mag meter, and then I'll put my 2 16-gallon products on the gear meter. Then they should basically get done at like the exact same time. West of Dad's house, around Dad's house. It's really interesting when we come out into a field because the plants tell us so much about what's going on. all the way from the ground up to the top of the plant. Now there are certain plants, like this one for example, this leaf looks perfectly healthy and it could have deficiencies. All these plants could have deficiencies and we're not gonna see it by the leaf. That's why tissue sample is so important, because we actually see what is inside of the leaf. We just wanna make sure we do it on a good sunny day or a good sunny stretch, so that way the plant is actively growing. And it helps when we have rain too, because if we don't, then the nutrients aren't gonna get flushed through the plant the way they should. So a tissue sample could be a little faulty. That's the importance of taking several, so then you really get kind of the full feel for the average of how stuff is going through the season. A few of the things we can look for on the surface of the leaf is, see how this particular one kind of has a ruffled edge to it? That is a micronutrient deficiency. And then the top of this one, see, it's kind of curled up? That's because it's hot. The plant is curling up to protect itself from the sun. It also do that when it's really dry. We do have a little bit of some bugs in this field. You can see them on the leaves themselves. There's one right there. That's a Japanese beetle. On the program stuff we're doing right now, we are putting an insecticide in there, so it'll sit on the leaves. These will be the bottom half of the plant. As they grow big and tall, they'll grow way above my hand here in the next couple weeks, but they will stay, the leaves will stay at this height. So if these bugs get on the lower parts of the plant and they munch on it, it'll take care of them. This field's not getting that, so that guy, he's gonna have a few more weeks to live until we come in with our normal fungicide, insecticide application, where we hit all of our production acres with it. At this stage, if we have bugs, it's not entirely the end of the world. It is, but it isn't. If they chew on a leaf right now, you just get a hole in it. And basically, we're just putting holes in our solar panel. The leaves are the solar panel, the energy source for the plant. Once it ends up setting an ear, that is when it is incredibly important. Bugs can bite into the ear and do damage there. They can damage the silks, which is what end up pollinating the individual kernels. And if we get diseases on these leaves, it can shut them down completely. So it's just really interesting walking out here. Then when we go down below the canopy, we can look at a few different things. We can just see how green is it all the way to the ground. If we start getting firing up, so this turns brown, then that's not a good sign. Potentially pretty dry. We had some bugs that had a little bit of munchy right there. We do have some brace roots kind of poking out above the ground. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing yet, because we haven't really had a whole lot of wind or anything doing a bunch of this on the plant. That's really what kind of forms those, or so I've been told. But I'm liking how stuff's looking for the most part. That one right there, I kind of wonder if he was maybe planted a little shallow, just because he's sticking really far out compared to that one. And then you got one like this, he doesn't have any. Another thing that's super fascinating, the corn plant is an incredible funnel. It just funnels water right to the base. Look how it's wet. Right there, right underneath the row. Dry in the center, wet underneath the row. We got that little bit of rain this morning. It's even damp to the touch right there. Sticking to my fingers. It just pulled it all right into these leaves and it funnels it right to the base, so that way the roots can actually use it. Incredible invention the corn plant is. Oh boy, this sprayer is a lot faster than the other one. We're doing 35.8 right now. 36.1. That's actually kind of scary. We're all done with the high management corn. Now it's onto the soybeans. We need to get the mix mate programmed for the soybean loads. That won't take very long. We need to get water filled up onto the trailer. We need to get the new products onto the trailer that are going to be on the soybeans. Neva asked if I would sit down and watch a movie with her tonight. And I think we're going to go grill out at my parents' house. We put in a 100-hour work week this week so far. So I think we're just going to call it a little bit of an early night. It's about 7:30 right now. We're just going to go spend some time with some family. Ready for some brats?
Yeah, let's go. And I made rice.
Oh boy.
Can you smell it?
No.
It's here.
Oh, you literally have a pan of rice right there.
Yeah, I made rice.
This is gonna go. We want to make sure we hit. I don't want to break a window.
Wow.
I don't know. It's gonna. I think the wind's gonna take it.
Hold on, wait a second. Is that rain? Do we have puddles over there? Okay, too wet. Sounds like we got more rain at my house. All of our bean fields are that way, which is where Dad lives, and he said he got quite a bit less rain than we did here. So we're gonna get everything loaded up on the bean trailer. We'll get all the corn stuff off, put all the bean stuff on. Then we'll go check out those bean fields. If they're dry, we'll be able to spray. Oh, you're hiding in here.
I'm hiding in here. Who are you talking to? Oh. He didn't recognize it.
So what we're gonna need to do here, Dad, this tote has 62.5 gallons of product on it that's gonna go into the beans. I didn't order a 250-gallon tote.
So what are we gonna do? Pour some of them in one of the totes that's up there?
Yeah, there's one that's on there that's got like 10 gallons left. I got one over there that's got the same stuff in it. We'll pull that out, we'll take the lid off, and then we'll just empty that one into that one. Okay, 50% battery, we should be okay. Yeah, that one can...
Mom asked if we're taking tomorrow off, and I said, I think so.
This is the one here, it's got, I don't even know if there's 3 or 4 gallons in the bottom of it, maybe. This is our insecticide right here.
Okay.
We just need one. It takes 4 gallons to do 250 acres. 2 ounces to the acres. Box is $1,000. These ones here, just open them up and then we'll just dump them in there then. Up until about 4 years ago, the spot we're at right now used to be all dirt. Just bare dirt with no rock. And when it was like that, if you just got a little bit of rain, you couldn't work because you just fill everything up with mud so bad and they would just make a big old muddy, ruddy mess. So this rock is kind of a life send because it allows us to get things done and prepped ahead of time while it's too wet. So then once it's dry, we can just go. So I got here just in time. You're on your last one.
I know it. Well, let's do that.
This is gonna be weird. We're literally only going to have to pour 1 gallon in. Everything else will be completely autonomous.
That'll be nice.
Oh boy.
So then when Jay got his boat, he said, well, I'm gonna try to say a little joke here, but...
This is all ready to go. Fill that sprayer with diesel and we'll be ready. Whew. Crab walk. Grab a few waters out of the drive shack.
Yeah, which field are we going to first?
I was kind of thinking tabletop.
Okay.
But we don't...
No, if you want to fill here first and then run and get us some lunch, or if you ate, or...
Okay. Got to start training Dad when he climbs up in the cabin, starts these things up to start the monitor up so that way all the GPS stuff can load. Because sometimes it takes a few minutes for it to fire up. Or if it's got to sync some stuff up from the internet, then they can be doing that while you're sitting there checking things over. Oil on that. Is there a pair of pliers in there? Thank you. On these front ones, we have to stir them with air because they settle out. They don't hold in suspension all the time. So we're just regurgitating all the stuff that settled to the bottom. Kind of like stirring your chocolate milk, except this stuff smells like rotten chocolate milk with dead fish in it. Here's the moment of truth. We're gonna set up a timer. We're gonna see how long it takes to fill this. I'm literally going to just be pouring 1 jug in that one. Everything else, these 5 other containers are going to be automatically pulled through the Mixmate. I will not be touching any of them other than what I just stirred up front. We're gonna hit go, we're gonna fire up the pumps, we'll do our dump, we'll see how long this takes. We will even start our stopwatch now. Let me get my glove on. This top thing, it shoots air into the jug, gets it out real quick, and then it's got a rinser. So now it's rinsing. Then we're good to throw this jug away. Get back while we clean that insecticide off there. During that whole time, we put in 16 gallons of that back product, 42 gallons of the other back product. Oh, this one wants to pull. It'd help if we would open it up, swap out the air lines, so that way we can blow the line out going to the sprayer. 3.5 minutes, pumped a total of 500 gallons in the sprayer so far. Water and everything. That product just got done. That top one just got done. Okay, they're rinsing. Now we just have 400 gallons of water left to pump. I don't know what to do with my hands. Let's save. We got automatic record keeping now. What we just put in there. We're full. No mess when we undo this. Look at that, dry. Outside of running a hot load, is it even possible to do what I just did? 7 minutes, 15 seconds, nonchalant. So this is where we're gonna start. We're marking it with the tile marker flag. We're gonna do about 40 acres, so we'll end up about by that wind turbine. This right half of the field closest to Luke and Ashley's house, this has nothing special done to it. This is just going to be normal high management with the sprayer application stuff, but we have some special biological on the seed on that half of the field. So we're basically going to have about 20 acres of just regular high management. And we're going to have 20 acres with that special biological. So we're going to be pulling a tissue sample on this side. We're going to be pulling a tissue sample on that side. We're going to keep doing these once a week as well. So that way we can see what is the difference with the high management stuff we are putting on. How is that holding up in the non-biologically treated seed versus the biologically treated seed? And then at that end of the field, and then from here towards the road, this is just going to be regular how we always plant soybeans, not high management. This field was planted with the John Deere planter. I am really pleased with the spacing of these soybeans. Look how spaced out they are. They're about all perfect, planted at 110,000 population. That's the closest soybeans I've seen right there. Just nice and beautiful. Some nice branching going on. No flowers yet. Nodes are nice and tight together. Look at that. Node, 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 node. There we go. That is our 40 acres of high management on tabletop. So this is just control, that's control. Then this green is split in half. The left side has the biological on it. The right side is our high management with just normal seed treatment. Ooh, who planted that? Dad? What's going on? It's hard to find good help anymore. These beans were planted with the 16-row planter. We can see quite the difference in the spacing. But overall, it's actually not too bad. Right there, we got a double drop, 2 in one spot.
Every piece of equipment on the farm got to be so quiet that it's loud. One year we put on the other sprayer like that a straight pipe because the old one fell off and we thought they wanted a ridiculous price for it. Sounded horrible, it was awful loud, and it was loud in the cab, so we put a muffler back on it.
And oh, well, that is okay. That's how accidents happen right there. Here we go. Yeah, Van Walls is definitely ramping up for harvest already. Jeez. Oh boy, tight driveway, tight driveway. So either their dicamba side killed our enlist row, or our enlist row killed their dicamba side. It's hard to say. This is actually two different fields. It used to be one, and then it got split to two people, and then the one person sold it. So now Winona has this side, that side. We're not sure who farms it, but somebody killed that row. We don't know who. I'm willing to bet we killed that row. Now we probably owe that guy $30. Chucks.
Well, looks like we got Cole pulling in now. He's running over the beans.
We're gonna have to boogie. This is what we got done on the south side of Mary Lou's. That's just gonna be our little strip there. There's a lot of variability on this farm, just with hills. This part up here used to be CRP for 25 years. And then you get back here, it gets, we call this part the mountain. It's pretty tall. So we're just kind of doing the most uniform spot up here. And then the north side's pretty uniform, but we're gonna try to hit 30 acres there. And we're gonna try to do this before dark comes. It's 9:04 right now, so we are going to have to move pretty stinking quick. Let's move these things in. All right, boogity. North side of Mary Lou's. It is 9:40, and we're gonna try to run off 25 acres on Melvin's. We got done at Mary Lou's. We jumped over to Melvin's down the road. We're gonna do another 25 acres or so, 18 acres over here, but it is 11:15, and I'm hungry and tired. We'll be back in the morning. Oh boy, somebody left the furnace on last night. Yoicks. No raccoon? Okay, we're good. You just don't know these days. Those raccoons are getting brave. Fixed it! Kristen and Rusty's. We got done just in time to beat the heat. The sprayer has the air conditioner all the way in the back, so when it gets above 85 degrees, it just takes a lot for it to pump it up here. So we just kind of have Luke cool air right now. We're gonna end up rinsing all the lines that go to those totes. We're gonna be using the sprayer trailer in a couple weeks to put more fungicide on, just our regular production acres. But since it's gonna be sitting for a couple weeks, I just don't wanna have the product sitting in the lines, settling out. I don't know if it'll do anything in there. So we're just gonna run everything up into the sprayer. We'll get the black hose hooked up. Then we'll probably just run it off on Cooper's alfalfa field. It'll actually be good for it. We got good micronutrients that will help the grass. Farming is not even close to what it was 50 years ago, or even 15 years ago. We just have so much more data that we can go off of now to make informed decisions. It makes it kind of exciting, but when it comes to more data being in places, that means more people can get in and make more educated decisions, and the competition becomes way stiffer. And I don't know about everybody else who's watching this video who farms, but on our farm, that has definitely been the case. People are willing to run things up to a much smaller margin because they can make a better estimation on how much money they are going to make. And oftentimes, those are larger farmers who are willing to pay absolute tippity top rent, which I have no idea how they cash flow it whatsoever, because when I run those numbers, we lose money. And so in order to basically compete with that, we have been just looking for what can we do within our operation. The grain bin system, being able to store our grain and be able to take advantage of basis as well as price changes by being able to hold our grain longer. That's one thing we've been doing. We've been looking for different practices. What can we do in the field? Maybe could we put field tile in? Does that provide a nice return on the investment? Can we fix our soil? What nutrients are out of whack in our soil that are holding us back? What is a weak link in the chain in our soil when it comes to nutrients? And then what we're doing like today is putting things on the crop that are the weak link. So that's where the tissue samples come in. We send them off, we find out what are our lacking nutrients, and then we're able to address them. We're also able to protect the plant at that time from different diseases and different pests. So the overall goal is return on investment. I'm trying to raise as high as yields as we possibly can. We all know we could throw buku dollars into an acre, and that does not mean we are going to make money. If I threw $2,000 an acre into just nitrogen on the crop, it's probably actually going to kill my crop. I'm going to end up losing money because of that. So more is not always better. It's about finding that balance. When I spend $100, I want to make $110 back. I want to make $120, $130 back. I'd like to make $300 off $100. So I'm looking for those opportunities throughout the operation. And when we identify them, we're trying to capitalize on them. And sometimes we identify what we think is a gem, and you know what? We're just taking that risk and we're saying, I think there's something there. I have a lot of really smart people telling me there's something there. You know what? We're just going to take the leap of faith. We're going to step into it. We're going to put our money where our mouth is. We're just going to take the shot. And if we miss, then we can see where we missed. Then we can re-aim up and we can do it again. And we're just going to keep doing that and doing that and doing that. I just think it's unreasonable if we keep doing that for a long enough time period that it's not going to work. So we gambled $40,000 today. I'm excited for it. We'll see how this turns out.